Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Women and Young Members Excellence Committee of ICAI, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to Yashaswini and Idol Series 75. Yashaswini and Idol is a Wednesday series of programs conducted by the WIMEC for the women CAs and by the women CAs. This series is an extension of Sky High's Synopsis, which concluded its 100 episodes. It is one of the committee's initiative to not only disseminate information to women members on technical updation and non-technical skills, but also to empower and inspire women members to come at a forefront and realize their verbal skills at public forum. I'd like to introduce our speaker, CA Zalak Parekh. CA Zalak Parekh is a fellow chartered accountant with over 10 years of experience, specializing in systems audit, income tax, company law matters, and project finance. A partner at a CA firm, she is actively engaged with ICI through seminars and publication alongside her professional excellence. Over to you, Zalak ma'am.
Thank you so much, Deval ma'am, for introducing me. I would like to extend my gratitude to Women and Young Members Excellence Committee for organizing such beautiful series, Yashaswini and Idol, and giving the young young members and women CAs across to brush up their knowledge and to uh, give this. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Today, I am going to speak about CARO reporting, unlocking audit accountability. So, I'm sharing my presentation. Straight. Uh, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Visible, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. So, first, what is the CARO 20 CARO reporting is all about, and what section gives this central government power to introduce CARO reporting. CARO is a special reporting requirement which is introduced by central government in consultation with NAFRA, National Financial Reporting Authority. So CARO, where in Companies Act, the power, this power to central government has been given. It is given in section 143(11), which says that central government may, after consultation with the advisory committee, by general or special order, direct in respect of such class or description of companies as may be specified in order, that the auditor's report shall also include a statement on such matters as may be specified therein. So here in section 143(11), it itself is not saying what is the reporting requirement, but it gives power to central government to give any order in which it can specify a specific list of companies to give additional reporting requirement. So it was originally CARO 2015, then it was superseded by CARO 2016, and now the latest one is CARO 2020, which was introduced by MCA via its order dated 25th February 2020, as named as Companies Auditors Report Order 2020. So it was originally planned to be commencing from 1st April 2019, but due to COVID-19, its applicability has been deferred, and it is applicable from the period starting from 1st April 2021. So financial year 21-22 was the first year where CARO reporting is required under CARO 2020 instead of CARO 2016. So CARO 2016, which had 16 sections, 16 items, reporting items. Now the CARO 2020, it is having a 21 broad items. Also, some old items, there are 11 items in the old CARO 2016, which has been modified, which scope has been made broader in CARO 2020. And some 7 new items has been added, and one item has been removed from CARO 2016. First, let's see what is the applicability of CARO 2020, to whom it is applied. So what the CARO order 2020 says, that it is applicable to all the companies. It is applicable to all the public and private companies unless specifically exempted. So the applicability provision is a general one. It is not saying to whom it is applicable, it is saying it is applicable to everyone. But for saying to whom it is being applied, we need to see the exemption section. So exemption section in this CARO order says that CARO 2020 does not apply to banking companies, to insurance companies, to Section 8 companies, to OPCs, and to small companies, and to certain private companies. So previously, the small company definition, as was given in Section 285, which was suggesting that when a company is not having a paid up capital of 50 lakh and the turnover of the company is less than 5 crore, then it is applicable, then the company is called as a small company. So at that time, the private limited companies definition was also useful, when because the definition of private limited company, which which was saying that the paid up capital plus reserve is less than 1 crore, and during the year turnover is less than 1 crore, and the total revenue is less than 10 crore, and the borrowings from bank is less than 1 crore, then those private limited companies were exempt from the applicability of CARO 2020. But now, from 15 September 2022, which is specifically which is given in company specification of definition details amendment rule 2020, which has increased the limit of small companies, and now the latest limit is the paid up capital when it is not more than 4 crore and the turnover is not more than 40 crore, then those companies are said as a small companies. Now the private limited company clause is now no more. It is redundant because this new definition of small company includes all the private companies which were all covered before this section. So now, if the turnover is paid up capital is not more than 4 crore and the turnover is not more than 40 crore, then those small companies are now exempted from this section. Sorry, and okay, so this small company cannot be a public company or and a holding or subsidiary company or a Section 8 company or a company or body corporate which are governed by a specified act. So in total, it exempts this private limited company which is not having a paid up capital of 4 crore or more, or a turnover not more than 40 crore. So this is about the applicability of CARO 2020. Now let's see CARO 2016 vis-a-vis CARO 2020. What are the changes in both the reporting orders? So first one in CARO 2020 is about property, plant and equipment and intangible asset. So previously in CARO 2016, there was only requirement to report about the property, plant and equipment. So now in CARO 2020, intangible asset has also been included. Also, CARO 2020 is also now required, it is more detailed, and it is requiring to report about the disclosure of Benami property proceedings as well. Also, when there is a change in, there is a revaluation in this property, plant, equipment, or intangible asset, and it is by the register valuer, and the value has been changed for more than 10% in aggregate, then you are required to report on that as well. So when there is a revaluation in this asset, then also you are required to report on that. Also, if there is some Benami proceeding, then you are required to report on that. And also now this CARO 2020 includes in its scope intangible assets. Inventory reporting requirement. So previously there was required that the physical verification has to be done at a reasonable intervals, and any discrepancies whether they are being dealt with or not. Now now it is requires that whenever there is a working capital loan taken by a company, and it is more than 5 crore, then you are also required to check whether the quarterly statements or any monthly statement which has been submitted to bank are in agreement with the inventory record maintained by the company or not. The third item, which is about loans, advances, investment, guarantees, or securities. Anything loans given, advances given, investment given, guarantees given, whether all these transactions that are covered in section 189. Previously, it was only required to report about the loan, advances, investment, or guarantee given to parties covered under section 189. But the new CARO 2020 says that it is required to report about any item about this transaction when it covers to any party. The word section 189 has been changed to any party. Also, it is required to report about the renewal of existing loans, extension of guarantees, any fresh loan that is given to settle the existing dues. Those are also been covered. So, in case of there is repay when even the loans which are given without any specific term, means repayable on demand or without any repayment schedule, then also you are required to report on that. And there is a broad list. It is given specific items that you are required to report about each of this loan in a specific format. Regarding compliance with section 185 and 186, that now there has been no change as far as this item is concerned. Both the 2016 and 2020 requires that provisions relating to loans to directors, guarantees, security, investment are required to be reported. Another section is about compliance with section 73 to 76 regarding deposits. It is majorly but now covers in its scope deemed deposit. So now deemed deposit word has been included in this deposit item. You are also now required to report about the items which we say as a deemed deposit. Sixth item is a cost record. There is no change as far as this item is covered. Whether cost record prescribed under section 148 are maintained or not, we need to report on that. The seventh item, which was regarding any statutory dues, if there is any lapse or any dispute regarding the statutory due, we are required to report on that. Now, 2020 also includes GST explicitly in that. There is no other change in it except the GST word has been added. Eighth item is regarding the undisclosed income. So previously in CARO 2016, there was no such clause of undisclosed income. Now in CARO 2020, this is a new clause which has been added, which says that when any transaction which was not recorded in the books of account and which was surrendered or disclosed as income during the income tax assessment, and during the previous year, when assessment has been concluded in previous year and such income, undisclosed income or some income has been surrendered, then you need to you are required to report on report about that in this clause. Ninth item, which is about default in repayment of borrowing. So previously, defaults which with regard to banks, financial institutes, government or debenture holder was only required to be reported. Now in CARO 2020, the scope has been broadened and now it is required that any kind of default of any loan, even though it is not with the bank or financial institute, then you are required to give lender wise detail. You need to give lender name, amount, overdue, days of delay in that. You are also, whenever there is a willful defaulter status, that is also to be reported. Also, it is required that you need to give if there is a diversion of fund, like term loan has been used for the stated purpose or not. Even short-term fund has been used for long-term fund, then also that is required to be reported here. Loans taken on pledge of shares or subsidiaries or pledge of shares of subsidiaries or associate companies. If you have given that loan on pledge of the shares, then also that is required to be reported. The 10th item, which is about fund utilization reporting. In case of IPOs, FPOs, or debt instrument which has been issued, whether previously in 2016 it was required that you need to state whether it has been used for the intended purpose or not. Now, the CARO 2020, over and above fund diversion, it is also now requiring that even in any preferential allotment, private placement, or convertible, if convertible debenture has been issued during the year, if there is preferential allotment of shares of any private placement or convertible debenture issued during the year, then you are required to report on that whether they are used for the intended purpose or not. Regarding 11th point, fraud reporting. So even in CARO 2016, report any kind of fraud which has been by officers or employees was required to be reported. Now, CARO 2020 the scope has been broadened, and any kind of fraud which has been reported in company, you are required to give report on that. Even if there is ADT 4 filed by the auditor, statutory auditor under section 143(12), you need to report on that as well. Even if there is some whistleblower complaint which has been registered in company, then also the comment is required to be mentioned regarding that. 12, Nidhi company. So both this section even in 2016 and 2020, they are having a consistent requirement that you are maintaining the net own fund to deposit ratio, which is required under Nidhi company's rules. 1:20 ratio has maintained, or 10% term deposit ratio has been maintained or not. What is new? It is that if there is some default in interest or deposit, now that is also required to be reported in under this item. 13th is about the related party transaction. Both CARO 2016 and 2020, there is no change in this item. Both requires that if there is compliance under section 177 and 188 or not, auditor are required that related party transactions has been properly disclosed in financial statement or not. 14th item is regarding the internal audit. Previously, there was no such item in CARO 2016. This is a new requirement in CARO 2020, which says that whether the internal audit system is in existence or not is commensurate with the size and nature of the company or not. Also, auditor must state that whether statutory auditor has in its report has been it has considered internal auditors' comments or not. So there is an enhancement in audit accountability and oversight mechanism that now statutory auditors are also required to consider the internal auditor's report while giving that report. 15th item, which is about the non-cash transactions with directors. So both 2016 and 2020 have a similar requirement that whether the transactions covered under section 192 are complied with or not. Both versions are having identical requirement that non-cash transactions with directors, ensuring continued scrutiny of transactions falling under 192 of the section 192. So there is no change as far as this item is concerned. 16th item, it is about NBFC or CIC registration. Whenever any company is required to be registered under RBI Act, whether it has been registered or not. Previously, only 2016 said that you are required to see that whether the registration is whenever such registration is required, it has been complied with or not. But now the scope has been expanded that even any kind of NBFC activity or housing finance activities are done in the company without having a valid registration certificate, you need to report on that. whether company is a core investment company, and if so, it is registered as a core investment company, or it has been specifically exempted. You need to state it. If there are if the group has multiple CICs, then you need to disclose the number of CICs registered under the company. The 17th clause, which was previously not there in CARO 2016. This is new item which has been added. When there is a cash loss in current or previous financial year, you need to give amount. What is the cash loss in current year? So CARO 2020 has a new this new requirement to specifically report if the company incurred losses in both current and previous financial year, along with the respective amount. The auditor's resignation. Previously, if there is some resignation of auditor, there was no requirement of reporting under CARO 2016. Now, if there is in CARO 2020, if there is some resignation of auditor, whether successor has considered issues raised by the outgoing auditor or not. If he has pointed out certain things, then that has been considered by the new auditor or not. The new auditor need to report on that. Material uncertainty on liabilities. So previously, this is also new clause. So when there is some liability which is getting due in 1 year, so company has a capacity to repay those dues or not. So auditor need to apply his financial judgment and give report whether the company has capability of this meeting liability or not. Need to report, assess financial statements and report on this obligation, which are falling due within 1 year. CSR requirement. So this is also a new clause. In CARO 2016, there was no such clause. In CARO 2020, whether any unspent CSR amount is there and it from any ongoing project and it has been transferred in a special account or not. It has been transferred to specified fund or not in the books of account. Statutory auditor is required to report on that. Consolidated financial statements requirement. This is also a new requirement in CARO 2020. So while preparing a consolidated financial statement, statutory auditor need to report on any adverse remark in CARO reports of subsidiary or associates companies in the consolidated financial statement. So this is all about the 21 sections, the 21 items which are there in CARO 2020. The one item which has been removed from CARO 2016, which was there in CARO 2016 and no more there in CARO 2020, is about managerial remuneration. So previously, whether managerial remuneration under section 197 has been given is within the prescribed limit or not, was required to be reported. Now this clause is no more there in CARO 2020. It has been completely removed. So this is all about the CARO 2020. Thank you so much. I would like to invite if there is some query regarding any of the items or anything.
Uh, Thank you, Zala, for an excellent session on Caro. The session was really insightful and very easy to connect. Your insights truly gave us a great clarity on the subject, and I appreciate your time taken by you to deliver the session.
Thank you so much. If there is any query, any questions regarding any of the items, we can take up that.
Yeah, currently we don't see any questions posted by the audience. Anything else, if you have, the ones who are attending, anything specific?
Basically, it is very small 21 item reporting requirement Caro 2020 which is having, and majorly we can see that the accountability has been increased from Caro 2016, which was very much theoretical, like we need to report on specific item is there or not. Now the statutory auditors in Caro 2020 are more responsible, like you need to go deeper, like when there is some loan has been taken, default is there, you also need to see the fund has been diverted or not, whether purpose for which it was used, it has been used or not. So the accountability, as the topic suggests, that the auditor's accountability in this new Caro reporting has been increased. It is not just we need to see the physical whether it is there or not, we also need to go deeper. So obviously, as an auditor, our responsibility and accountability increases in Caro 2020.
Thank you, Zalak, for your informative insights. If we don't have any questions, we can move on to the next chapter of the session. Over to you, Ria. Uh, Zala, hi. We have few questions coming in. So,
Sure.
the first question is, can you explain what was the threshold of 10% about in clause 1 inventory?
Okay. Let's for that I would like to show the exact provision that is I would like to share the Caro 2020. What is the exact provision it says? It is firstly it is regarding, am I visible and audible? Yeah. So basically it requires that whenever there is a revaluation of more than 10% in any of the uh, fixed asset item, which is property, plant, investment, or any intangible asset, then and there is a revaluation by a registered valuer, then you are required to report on that. I would like to share the exact clause. Just a moment.
Uh,
Is it visible?
Jhalak ma'am, do you
Yes.
want to share something more about the topic? Because like the ma'am is about to join in another 5 minutes.
Okay,
So
sure.
yes, Yashashri ma'am, do we have any further question?
Yeah. Zalak was about to share her
Yes.
screen to answer those. So,
Just 2 minutes, ma'am. I would explain the what is the query. I'd like
अरे
to.
उन्होंने पी
Okay, so this is the exact clause which is in Caro 2020 regarding the 10% change, that it says that when whether company has revalued its property, plant, equipment or intangible asset or both during the year, and if so, whether revaluation based on the valuation by a registered valuer, then specify the amount of change. If change is more than 10% in the aggregate of the net carrying value of each class of property. Class means that you need to report about if there is a change in plant and machinery and equipment, and another class is intangible asset. If in any of this class of asset, if there is change of more than 10% in aggregate, then you are required to report on that the what is the amount of change and whether it has been in accordance with registered value or not. This is all about this section.
if you are okay with the answer, we have few more questions. So,
Yes,
yeah.
sure, ma'am.
Can you give a few examples of what kind of cash losses are to be covered under Caro 2020 requirement?
So cash loss is basically the loss before any non-cash transaction. If there is a loss during the year, so uh, this is I'll like to take you to this section. Hmm. So, in case of there is any cash loss during the financial year and also in immediate preceding financial year, then you're required to state the amount of this cash loss. Cash loss means loss before any depreciation, which is in an with excluding all the non-cash transactions. If there is a loss, you need to specify the amount in comparison with the previous year.
Okay, that hopefully answers the question. There's one more question. NBFC default requires to be reported even if NBFC is closed.
If it is closed, see even if the NBFC is closed, we need to give a report for this year as well. If then this NBFC first I want to whether it is a company which is NBFC or a loan given by NBFC. I think I'm assuming it is a company which is registered as an NBFC.
Yeah,
So,
seems to be because
yes. So, of course, if it falls in the criteria and Caro reporting requirement is there in that company, you need to give report on that. And if it is a loan given by NBFC and NBFC has been closed, so even though the NBFC is closed, the amount due stays there. You need to report on that, even with the penalties or interest. Even though NBFC is closed, there must be some department which would all giving the interest, which will be calculating, or some cases going on with the NBFC. And for that purpose, even in the Companies Act, if it is closed, it will also, even then also it will be alive for the legal matters. So you need to report on that.
Okay, thank you, sir. There's one more question. What is the coverage for reporting about whistleblower complaints? Is it just reporting, or auditor needs to share the details of the case as well, if any?
No, it is only about the reporting. But you need to just state whether there has been some complaint received by a whistleblower or not, and the summary of the report is required to be given. You don't need to go in detail, but whatever complaint has been received, you need to give report on that. That yes, this has complaint regarding this has been received. Also, statutory auditor is required to file Form ADD4 with regard to any such a fraud reporting. Even if that ADD4 has been filed by even the resigning auditor has filed, then also you need to report on that as well.
Okay. Thank you, Zala. I think we are at the end of the questions. Thank you so much for addressing them.
Thank you.
I think we can move on to our next session. Over to you, Ria.
Rohi ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
Yes, can we start the session now?
Ye-
Yes, ma'am, please start, please. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very happy to introduce CA Tripti Sovani, ma'am. She is a founder of Women Innovator and partner at a leading CA firm. She is a TEDx speaker and an awardee of Times 40 and Under 40 and ET, Inspiring Women Leader. With global experience at PwC, Grant Thornton, and World Bank, she has empowered 10,000 plus women entrepreneurs worldwide through incubation, mentorship, and policy. So, I introduce you, ma'am, very warmly, and you may please start your session.
Thank you so much, Arohi, for the introduction, and thank you everyone for inviting me for this session. Equally excited because I keep doing a lot of sessions, but when it comes to Institute of Chartered Accountant and people associated with as a chartered accountants, it gives me a lot of pleasure. I just want to know, Arohi, that if somebody has question, will I be able to see them, or would you be telling?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am, the
Yes, moderator will ask the question at the end. They are having the access of the admin link. So at the end of the 5 minutes after your session, they will ask from you, ma'am.
Sure. Thank you so much. I hope my voice is very clear and
Yeah, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Screen is also visible.
thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. And today we will be talking about very interesting aspect in our CA life, I would say. It is network to net worth. I know all of us, we have studied a lot about net worth in our chapters and all. But I think it is very important to understand how to create relationship and convert them into network and then to net worth. So today, as Tripti Somani, and often called as Mrs. Rocket because of my, nature of making sure things are done on time. I would say that I will be taking the session with you. I hope you will be able to ask relevant questions accordingly. So, going to my, about me, chartered accountant, master of business law, almost 20 years of experience working with PwC, Grant Thornton, World Bank, and then, of course, have joined my own firm, which is KG Somani and Company. I have always been a very, passionate about social initiatives and social aspiration which I had, because that drive my passion. So, Woman is an environment is a non-profit which I'm supporting to help women and environment, take next level in the journey for the country. So, but also I have been contributing to policy changes, and I'm a proud mother, of course. What makes me happy? Of course, I think being a finance person, what always attracted me was, women making money, right? And so I would say what made me happy, really happy, and brought tears to my eyes was a woman from Nasik who actually messaged me that you gave wings to those who were meant to crawl. मैं crawl कर रही थी और आपने मुझे wings दिए. मुझे आज तक याद है कि जब मुझे ये message मिला, क्योंकि she comes from a background, she didn't know how to speak Hindi, she only knew how to speak Marathi. She was creating a product which is pottery farming product, where chickens and eggs are stored, and she was competing with international clients. So international clients, and she didn't know how to speak English, Hindi, and but she did it. And she told me that, Trupti, there was a time when एक रुपए का सामान खरीदने के लिए भी I was asked, how will you do it? And when she became an entrepreneur, when she messaged me this, because we recognized her, we got her a first funding. That message actually brought tears to my eyes, and that made me happy. And that was the starting of where I felt I will never stop, whatever it takes. Whether people say whatever, I will not stop helping. Like you can see that I have gone through quite a quite a journey from I've survived cancer last year, and I saw a drastic change in the way I was dealing with my life. 100% of life pre-cancer, and how I started focusing more on health, wellness, and taking out for myself. I mean, if I can't see the audience, but if the audience is most of the women, I would definitely say that, guys, pause. कुछ नहीं करना भी एक अचीवमेंट है, जो कि मैंने अब भी सीखा है at the age of 40. I hope वो गलती आप लोग नहीं कर रहे हो. ऑफिस से घर आते हैं and we are all still working. We don't take rest. We don't give rest to ourselves. So I know you see me smiling faces with my bald look as well, but that's how I was. I was working during my cancer, post cancer, and it's just that I was able to do it better when I paused. A pause, rest in your life will give you multifaceted advantages. There is no doubt about it. So, Womanovator, KG Somani and Company, I know most of you would know, is a 60 years old chartered accountancy firm with more than 200 people today and part of international network. Womanovator is a global incubator, almost reaching out to 1 lakh women across 100 cities of India and Africa. Now, how a person who is a chartered accountant all of a sudden became someone who was so active towards community. And I will be, I don't know if you can note it down, but I would say there are 3 C's which has played a very important lesson in my life. And I teach people that these 3 C's will change your life. And I'm a perfect example. First C is community. You see in the first photo, there is a community. I come to a session and there are 2 people sitting. The session makes no sense, even if I'm the best speaker. You need community, whether it is public speaking, whether it's doing a business, whether doing a social initiative, whatever you're doing. Even personal life, you need community to be laughing or crying together. So it all started with MIT GSW. I was approached by one of my uncle to help, but it ended up that we actually helping in conducting the whole event, 500 entrepreneurs from across the world, 80 speakers, international and national co-founders, ministers, principal advisor of PMO, everyone was there. This event was a start for startups. and from funding to to run this program, everything was done by us. That is the first time when I realized that I am a soul connector. I like being with the community and to connect everyone for the cause, for a good cause. And believe me, this start led me to a lot of places. A lot of things which happened, which you will see happened in my life, was because of these initiative, the social impact aspect. Because if you're contributing to community, it will come back. Today I'm sitting on the board governing council of Ministry of Startup, DPIIT Startup Council. At a young age, I was part of NISBIRD, which is part of Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Governing Council. All this happened because I was being a chartered accountant. I was also contributing to policy making and contributing towards the community aspect. And it came back. And this all initiative leads to networking and business relationship. Your pitch is very different when you are also someone who is passionate in contributing to the society. You will connect very fast. I think with this, then it was not, there was no stop to it from 100 women faces to 1,000 to 10,000. It all kept happening. We started reaching to different city. We got 100 women every city pitching for us in front of audience in every city, and also doing the capacity, taking them to global market to sell their product, to incubating and accelerating them to be capable entrepreneurs to reach their funding rounds. It was all done by us without charging a single penny. And of course, it led to branding opportunity. You will see we took a delegation to President House. We met most of the ministers and they were supporting us today. If you talk about big media company, they invite us to be part of their initiatives, and we are there. We were extensively covered and being covered today. But all because we could bring a community together. So now I will be taking you to a next C, which is collaboration. Now, this collaboration plays another very important role. How? Could you see the collaboration impact? I'll show you. This is what is called collaboration. It is me doing 100 people, 100 people doing 100. What is the effect? Ripple effect. More than millions of voices towards one direction, you collaborating and achieving something, the impact will be marvelous. You can't even imagine. So these leaders you saw right now on your screen are people who came forward, joined us, and they all moved towards empowering 100 women in their city, in their sectors, and it led to 1,000. And these 1,000 are now coming together to create a 10,000 impact. Every city, 6 people were selected with a proper pitching competition and were brought together. Now, the kind of people you come along, the 6 people around you actually define you in your future. Now, with this, we started working with corporates like Adani, or international organizations like UN Women, IFC, Amazon, Google, Ernst& Young. All these people started supporting us, hosting our women to do business, to do program, capacity building. And that's where we feel so proud. Collaboration. And Amazon, on a one fine day on 8th March, came out with a collaboration with us where Amazon partnered. If you see, Amazon partnered with Womenovator to enable 300 Indian women go global. This is how when we started working. Now, what is happening? You must be wondering, as a chartered accountant, as a finance people, why? Why should we do it? Now, imagine when I am talking about social aspect, when I'm talking, I'm meeting important industry leaders. I'm meeting right people. And that creates the first step towards network, which is relationship. And this relationship, most of the time, when they come to know about your core business, becomes your business opportunity. So with this, we were then, like I said, even brand agency, media agency started inviting us and asked us to be part of their event and to run their event. We've been honored by different government endorsement and tie-ups. And of course, with this, I would say consistency. The third C, which is a very important thing. One thing I saw was consistency can actually bring a major change in your life. Before cancer, after cancer, one thing I'm being consistent about is my exercising routine. Your life, you need that 1.5 hour to yourself. You have to invest in yourself, and you will see that the results are marvelous. As a chartered accountant, I always said, yeah, I have done so much technical stuff. Why do I have to exercise? I can't do it. But during COVID, I realized the strength. I started with 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. And I start seeing my body toning, my energy level rising. And today I do 1.5 hour cardio. Someone who felt like cannot do exercising in their whole life is now doing it. So the holistic wellness I was talking about, whether it's mental or physical, both are equally relevant. But in all scenario, during my cancer time, I made a podcast series called Pursuit of Finance with my friend Nidhi. I never stopped and I always enjoyed my journey. I have never regretted or asked myself, why me? Right? So I hope all of you will be able to take all your challenges in a very positive manner. Now, I think one question people keep asking is how do we become a brand? How do we become someone who people would like to talk? I think uska simple answer is very simple answer. You can become a brand if you're being seen. And LinkedIn is a perfect solution, guys. If you're not on LinkedIn, you're missing out on something for sure. I would suggest that you go back, talk about today's post, comment on people's posts. So for example, you don't know what to do, but you want to be seen. I don't know who I'm speaking to right now because I can't see the audience, like I said, but you want me to know that you were there in my session. Just go on LinkedIn, Tripti Shingal Samani, look for a post which you like, which I've done, comment on it. It was great listening to you. Or you can create a post about the session today, which Institute has taken, and tag the speakers that how great or how bad, whatever your feedbacks are, it was. Be genuine. The more genuine and real you would be, LinkedIn will make you seen. And that's where you want to be seen because LinkedIn is a platform where all professional people are there. So I think whether commenting, if you're not into creating posts, repost people's post. Like I told you about Woman Innovator, you want talk about social impact project done by others, appreciate it. Write appreciation post about person who has changed your life or a mentor who has played a very important role. And schedule these kind of posts in advance. And the most important thing, today relationship will lead to growth because as you will grow as grow in money, you will see growth. There is fixed component in your salary and there will be a variable component. For variable component, I've already told you how relationship have to be created, how the network has to be created, right? And I'll give you more tips. Another 5 minutes, I'll give you more tips around it. um, I think, but before that, one more thing, which is very, very important as finance people, is being technologically enabled. I keep telling people who are working for me that in next 2 to 3 years, if you are not technologically advanced, you will become, I would not say the word. I hope you will understand. It starts with O. So if you're still thinking how, please see, I'll tell you about Capital. You'll go and you'll see the kind of dashboards as a chartered accountant we are able to create with help of Capital are marvelous. Clients as big as the listed companies are not doing it, and it's a great opportunities. great opportunity of counseling, consultancy, and are opening for finance people. So as a woman, please, if you're listening to me, just being a finance person will not help. Just be technologically enabled. That is very important. So relationship growth, technology means quality in your work, in your teamwork. And the mission could be social impact in life. Because today, the another opportunity I would say is arising is in ESG, which is environment, social, and governance. You need to know all these things. You need to know where opportunity knocks, where is the major opportunity in our fraternity, new opportunities. And you will see the community aspect, which I told you, will create a ripple effect, will validate what you're trying to do and help you. You need to create that business network. So just few more tricks about the business network. How do you create? Start with existing network, look for people you know, make a target list of people and clients, which I will show you, how, like, you can also target a company, make a summary of board members, put suggestive people you who would know them, go on LinkedIn and find out who are the mutual connect between you and them, who can introduce you. So mutual connects can also help you create good networking opportunity. This is how I do. If I am meeting you, I will read your LinkedIn profile. I'll read what post you've done, how you're thinking, what you're thinking, which school did you went, which client you worked with, or which company you worked with, who all are you connected with, which are common in connection. So these are the things which are very, very important, which will help you. At the end, we want you to secure a seat at the table, guys, right? And whatever you need today, all kind of sessions, social media, networking, it's all on Google. There are free courses on Google which can help you. I've just created a chart where you can put and start connecting with people, start the name of the person you want to connect, uh, who are the company details, their sector, profession, qualification, college, city which they're born in, company they are working with, and then look for people who would know any of them. Which, imagine your, maybe the school which you are talking about, the city, is someone you already know and you can connect through them. So you will be directly connected, and see who are the 6 people who come to your mind and start with interaction. Now, how many connections are important is very simple. It is not important how many. What is important is, are they relevant? So focus on relevance. Create your network and just be consistent. Be consistent. And in the end, I would just say that please make sure your LinkedIn background photo, you have the right profile picture, you have a job title, a summary. You can also endorse people, get recommendation. Just start now. I mean, I'm sure the consistency you maintain, and believe me, our dead profile is equivalent to zero visibility. Start commenting, start interacting, and you will see that it is happening. It will take time, but it will happen. I would say, if I have introduced you to Jhalak, for example, or sort of right now, you need to ensure that the person who has referred you to create the trust relationship, you always remember that person and that person is informed. People do this mistake. Don't do that mistake in networking. It will come back to you. It will. So with this, I would say at the end, girls, 2 things for personal front. Please have a professional and personal mentor separately. You need to have for both personal and professional. You need to know about self-love. Please don't forget about it. And like I said, minor unnoticeable changes can lead to habits. So with this, I would say life is very, very short. Don't forget to enjoy. And like I said, I've recently learned how to not do anything for a few minutes is something you need to make sure you are also doing. You're resting as well with a lot of work you're doing. And whatever mistakes you've done, it's okay. Just learn from them and don't repeat, okay? With this, I'll give you an example of, Agrawal Packers, founder. Agrawal Saab said that once I went to the, mandir, and my friend went to a mandir with me, and his shoes got lost, somebody stole it. And so his friend was like very surprised that your shoes are so expensive, so nice. Mine were not even good. Why the thief has stolen mine? He said, yeah, I have learned one thing and I don't repeat that mistake again. Whenever I come to a temple, I make sure that my one shoes is on one corner, the other shoes is on another corner. So even if it's best, nobody wants to take one shoe. He wants to take a pair. Thank you so much, guys. I hope I could justify, my session today. Just be empathic before saying no to anything and learn to do things outside your job as well. And if possible, work directly with founders to learn from them how they manage stress, how is the real environment look like. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Saurav, you there? Ria?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I've just brought my session to an end. Ria.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just checking, is there any questions from the attendees? Just a minute. Hello. Sir, questions pop up in 7 questions. Hello. Thank you, Tripti ma'am. Thank you for guiding us. And ma'am, I have one question. You just told us about LinkedIn profile. Is it really helpful for personal purpose also?
Of course, personal purposes also, because see, Riya, आज के time पर Facebook is not something people are there. Facebook is majorly for reels. Instagram has also become more like reels, where you want to just
Yes.
look for something which is nonsense, something which is relaxes you, pulls your mind off, right? But LinkedIn is a place where you want to share it's like sharing platform. One is media used to cover your story. Now you can start writing about your story and about your experiences and tell people. Every story, every person can teach so much to other people, right? You can teach 200, I can teach 200. So it is very beneficial at this moment. You can, share your content, your kind of thoughts with your kind of network.
And ma'am, can you guide us how to build professional network also in LinkedIn?
Like I said, I've already shared
Okay.
this with everyone, Ria, that, the best way is to start with 6 people you know.
Okay.
And then, for example, you want to look for a client which you want to pitch to, right? For example, you have to make a target list. Now, you want to reach to that client, you may get connected to their CA, you may get connected to their CFO or the director, but you need to write why you want to connect. But if you have a social impact story, if you have just not just a chartered accountant, you're also doing for the for the ecosystem, for the community, automatically your profile is strong. Now, anyone who's reaching out to you, who have seen your profile or you reaching out, would like to meet you, because you're not just going to talk about yeah mujhe kaam de do, but also how you are contributing to the country's growth. Now, your pitch is very different, Ria. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks. Ma'am, there is one question from
Yeah.
one member. How to maintain confidentiality while building networking? The question is.
I think confidentiality. Why do you want to
Yes.
maintain confidentiality while creating network? What kind of confidence?
Networking. Just ICA always guide us to maintain confidentiality.
Code of conduct and all.
Yes, code of
But
conduct, ethics.
see, again,
Okay.
I think there are a lot of code of conduct thing. You cannot pitch yourself, your
Okay.
service to, or you can't reach out to the people for pitching or your services, but to connect. Like I said, that is the reason why when you work for community, your story is strong. You have more than just work to speak. See, relationship get cultivated today. You and I are connected on this social platform where I'm speaking, and I'm not charging you, or you're not giving, charging here. Now, what is happening? We are doing this for the welfare of the community.
Yes.
Now, Ria, you are being seen as someone who is a community person, who is not very commercial, right? Now, if you will come out to me or reach out to me, you will say, yeah, Trupti, give me this work, that work. I said, right now I may not have, I would like to know you more and all this stuff. But if you connect with me, you get connected with me for a social impact project, you get connected with me for a cause, you get connected with me in general, then you and I are creating relationship. And that's what I keep telling everyone. When you're going to client, you're meeting clients, who you're working with, then also first create relationship. Don't think about how this 1 lakh fees will become a 10 lakh fees. If you've not created a relationship, you've not creating a trust, you cannot get that net worth. That network will not convert into net worth. And it takes time. It will not happen like this. It will take time.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you to the wonderful speaker, CA Trupti Somani, ma'am, for guiding us. And thanks to all the participants for taking time and attending this webinar. Thank you so much. Over to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.